Hey everyone! Welcome back to EPSVT, where we dissect the shows you love, the characters you can't forget, and the storylines that hit harder than you expected. Today, we're diving into the Young Sheldon series finale and how the show quietly came full circle, reviving a premise that had been abandoned for years. If you thought Young Sheldon was just a family sitcom spin-off of The Big Bang Theory, think again. The final episodes were not only heartbreaking, but they also reminded us of what the show was originally meant to be. Let's break it down. Young Sheldon's forgotten premise, and why it vanished. When Young Sheldon debuted in 2017, its premise was simple. A child prodigy, out of place in small-town Texas, trying to navigate a world that didn't understand him. The early episodes leaned heavily into Sheldon's clashes with teachers, neighbors, and even Pastor Jeff. It was funny, awkward, and very much Sheldon versus the world. But let's be honest, that premise had a limited shelf life. There's only so many times you can watch a precocious kid outsmart adults before it starts feeling repetitive. The show's creators knew this. So, by season 4, Young Sheldon pivoted. The spotlight expanded to the entire Cooper family. Suddenly, it wasn't just Sheldon's story. It was a broader family dramedy, almost like a softer, more nostalgic Malcolm in the middle.
And it worked.
Characters like Georgie, Missy, Meemaw, and George Sr. became fan favorites in their own right, adding layers of heart and humor that kept the series fresh. Season 7 finale. The return of the original premise. But here's the twist. When Young Sheldon was ready to say goodbye, it quietly circled back to its roots. Season 7, Episode 13, titled Funeral, didn't just depict George Sr.'s death. It gave us a raw, intimate look inside Sheldon's unique way of processing grief. The episode zeroed in on Sheldon's mind as he replayed his final conversation with his dad, over and over, searching for a version where he got it right. This wasn't about quirky family dynamics or side plots. This was pure Sheldon, the socially awkward prodigy struggling to make sense of messy human emotions. For a show that had drifted far from its original Sheldon-centric narrative, this return felt deliberate. It reminded viewers of how Sheldon's hyper-rational mind processes the irrational chaos of life. Suddenly, that long-abandoned premise became the emotional core of the finale. Why the shift away from Sheldon was necessary. Now, you might wonder, if this original premise was so strong, why didn't Young Sheldon stick with it all along? The answer's simple: growth. A sitcom focusing solely on a flawed protagonist's perspective risks stagnation. The Big Bang Theory learned this the hard way with Leonard's storyline. When the world revolves around one character's quirks, there's no room for evolution. That's why Young Sheldon needed the Coopers to step up. Georgie's coming-of-age story, Missy's fight for attention, Meemaw's rebellious streak. These subplots gave the series depth and variety. Sheldon works best when he's bouncing off more grounded characters, forcing them, and himself, to grow. The finale struck the perfect balance. By sidelining Sheldon in much of Season 7, the writers set up a powerful emotional gut punch. His father's death wasn't just a plot point. It became a transformative moment for Sheldon, marking the end of his childhood and the beginning of his journey toward the character we meet in The Big Bang Theory. The finale didn't rely on surprise. It leaned into inevitability.
We knew George Sr. would die.
But by focusing on how Sheldon's unique mind processed that loss, the show delivered one of its most poignant and emotionally intelligent episodes. It was a quiet return to what the show had always been about. A brilliant but emotionally bewildered boy, trying to understand a world that doesn't make sense to him. Final thoughts. Young Sheldon's finale was a masterclass in storytelling symmetry. After seasons of expanding its scope and diving into the lives of the Coopers, the show knew exactly when to pull back and refocus on its title character. It was a return to its origins, but with the emotional weight of 7 seasons behind it. So, what did you think? Did Young Sheldon's finale hit the mark for you? Or do you think the show should have kept its original focus all along? Let's talk about it in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to EPSBT, and don't forget to ring the bell for more deep dives into your favorite shows. We'll see you in the next one.